Ooh, it's been a long time. How's it going, everyone? Picklesoup back. So I made a video a long time ago. It was the beginner's guide for 2020 Dead by Daylight, and I tried to just jam as much information as I could in there to make it as useful as possible. And I got a lot of feedback. Some of you guys were like, hey, can you make shorter videos? Because, you know, an hour and 30 minutes or whatever it was is a little too long. And I'm like, yeah, that's some good feedback. And then I had someone else ask, hey, can you make a video on maps and keys? I was like, yeah, I actually didn't really go on into that. So I think I'm gonna keep making a few little more tutorial videos before going into more gameplay videos on this channel. That being said, anyone who's subbed that isn't in the Discord or hasn't heard from me in 4 or 5 months, it's due to COVID. Because I work at retail, at a very big retail store, it's quite difficult to also do this on the side. I enjoy doing it a lot, but it's very hard to find the time, especially when my schedule got turned to 20 and I was in almost constantly. I've actually asked for less hours now that things are starting to simmer down a bit. So I should be able to start doing stuff again if you care about that. If you're just here for the content, I'm going to put a timestamp so you guys can stick ahead and, you know, all that. But for those who care where I was, you know, that's where I was. So today we're going to be going over maps and keys. And just to help clarify and how they work and maybe show how they work in the game. So we'll start with keys. A lot of times people are like, what's the difference between a dull key and they both open the hatch? Do I really care about it? Okay, I'll go over it. So keys have two different functions. One of them is to unlock they call it the black lock. It's pretty much just the hatch. It gives you the ability to unlock the hatch. So when the hatch spawns in a game, if it's still closed, you can just pop it open, and I think it stays open for roughly 30 seconds, and in which that time people can get out in there, through there. However, if they don't get out within 30 seconds or the killer closes it, it's closed again, right? So if you're like playing with a bunch of randos and you're like, oh, I'm gonna open a hatch for my team, but no one's there, you're not really opening it for your team, you're just opening it for yourself. So you gotta like try to gather your teammates around you and then be like, okay boys, here we go, open it up, and everyone pops in kind of deal. So that's the primary function of a key. The secondary function is to use its aura reading ability. Now, that's where the broken key comes in. So, the broken key is the only key out of the 3 in the game, the skeleton key being here, the dull key being this one, and the broken key, which is the only one that can't open the hatch. But it still has 10 seconds of use for aura reading. So if you're like, wow, I don't really care about that, then you'll probably think the broken key is shit, which it pretty much is. Whenever you open a chest and you get a broken key, especially when it has no add-ons, it is pretty much useless to you until you get it out of the match and you're able to put add-ons on it. So yeah. So in order, so like the best key for opening hatch is skeleton key and then dull key, if you're able to save it, of course. So those are the only two that can open the hatch. And then to order them from strongest aura reading to weakest, we got the skeleton key, which gives you 30 seconds of use. That is a pretty long time, and I'll get into that later. So you get 30 seconds of use alongside it being able to open the hatch. This is an insanely strong add-on. Like, so in the end game, let's put it this way. Let's say you have a team of 4, and you're all communicating, or you've somehow shown your whole team that you have a key. Once you finish all 5 generators, you don't even have to touch the exit gates. One of you just has to find the hatch, gather you around, and you just pop out in a second. The killer can't defend that. Like, unless they're sitting on the hatch and waiting to close it, they can't defend that. So it's a very, very strong add-on. Also, another use of it, let's say it's a 1v1 and you're looking for the hatch. You don't have to risk your life looking for the hatch. You can wait until the killer finds it, closes it, and if you're following them the whole time, you can just reopen it right behind them. So it's a very strong item, and the fact that it has 30 seconds of aura reading is pretty nutty. You might be asking, hey, what does the aura reading do? It depends on what add-ons you put on. I'll get into that later. Then the next strongest one is the broken key that has 10 seconds of use. Now it can't open a hatch, but it still has double the amount that the dull key has. The dull key has 5 seconds of use, but it can still open a hatch. Little confusing, but on the hatch opening department, all you want is the skeleton key or a dull key. And when it comes to aura reading, it's strongest from skeleton to broken to dull key. That's all you need to know. So on to the add-ons. There's just a few add-ons here. There's, what, 9 of them? Yeah, 9 of them. The first one is the Blood Amber. This is actually a really strong one. So it allows you to see the killer's aura while you're channeling the key. So channeling is just holding right click. When it's fully charged, it starts using the charges on the key. So if you have, let's say you have this. This key has 30 seconds of use, and then a Blood Amber, which reveals the killer's aura within 32 meters of you. So while you're being looped, you can activate the key to see exactly what they're doing, what kind of mind games they're trying to pull off, and you can make a decision, hey, they're going to try to loop this again. I'm just going to leave while there's a wall in between us and they can't see me. That gets you to another loop safely. Or, hey, they're moonwalking. Maybe I should commit to this vault, you know? Stuff like that. It's really strong if you know how to use it. The one thing about this, though, is it will deplete your charges on the key a lot faster, okay? I don't know the exact ratio because it just says consumes it at a great expense. So I want to say, like, you get a third of the charges, maybe? I don't know. So maybe 10 seconds of use for the skeleton key. That's my guess. Then if you pair it with this, the freaking para beads, they add another 15 seconds of channeling. So you have, like, I would guess, I don't know, maybe 15 seconds of solid seeing the killer. And you don't have to use it all at once. You can see where the killer is and stop using it. And only use up like a second of that info, right? You can just keep on tapping it to, or tap charging it to see where the killer is and saving the key. So there's that. That's what the aura reading's for. So the Blood Amber allows you to see the killer when he's close to you. Pretty much in terror radius range. It also helps if you're trying to be a blendette and you're trying to avoid the killer at all costs, you know, because you want to save your key. Don't be a blendette. The next one is the Milky Glass. Pretty much when you use the key to unlock the hatch, you don't lose your item, you lose offering instead. So every time you unlock the hatch, the key just, poof, it's gone. If you use the Milky Glass, instead, you just lose the add-on, which now in the current game, this has been out for a while, but you just lose add-ons either way after a trial. So either you're going to lose this on a hatch or you're just going to lose it because you used it. So yeah, it pretty much stops it from being consumed. So like if, I don't know, if you did like this, you get a little bit of aura reading with the key, plus you can unlock the hatch and still have the key after the trial, if you escape. This one's an interesting one. I don't think it's very good, but, you know, it's there. Reveals the obsession's aura to you and decreases the chance that you are the killer's obsession. And stacks, I guess. This one's alright. Like, I guess it works if someone's getting tunneled and they use DS, and then you can see exactly where they are, so you can swap aggro or try to. I definitely don't think it's a purple item, but you know, it's in the game. If you want to see where, I guess it has no range, so you can always check to see where the obsession is. So if you notice the claws are wiggling, the claws, like the obsession claws that are around their icon in the bottom left, if you see the wiggling, fun fact, that means the obsession's getting chased, or there's chase music happening. So I guess if you see they're wiggling and you want to know which direction they're looping, you can do that, and then you're like, oh, that's where they are right now. Cool. I guess it's useful for that. The next one is the Weaved Ring. You don't lose this key when you die. So if you're not the best at surviving still, you're still trying to learn the ins and outs of the game, this is a godsend. Like, let's say you pair these two, you're not going to lose the key, because if you use it on the hatch, this one gets consumed. If you die, this one gets consumed, and you still get the key. That's like the I'm going to save my key add-on. Now, keep in mind, if someone's running Franklin's Demise, and you die with it not in your hand, you will not keep the key. Little fun fact for you. But if they're running Franklin's Demise, and let's say you're playing with a friend, and you get M1'd and then you get killed, your friend can pick it up, and if somehow they don't drop the item and they still die, then this add-on will apply to them. So let's say I bring this key into the trial, and I end up dying, and it wasn't in my hands because of Franklin's Demise. And let's say we're playing up against the Demogorgon, okay? So I'm gonna tell my friend Joey, like, hey Joey, yo, pick up my key, boy. It's a sweet key with sweet add-ons. And Joey's gonna be like, what kind of key? And I'm gonna be like, it's a skeleton key, Joey. Pick up the key. And he's gonna be like, oh shit, it's a skeleton key. Man, how unlucky is that the killer had Franklin's Demise? I'm gonna pick it up. And let's say he's looping the killer in just the right way that he forces the Demogorgon to use his shred, which is not a basic attack. We can get into that another time. But it doesn't proc Franklin's Demise. Now your friend is dead. He gets hooked. And now, instead of losing the key because he's dying with it in his hand, this add-on will now proc on him, and he gets to keep the key. Now Joey has a sweet skeleton key. All because of communication. So yeah, that's the one contingency. You will keep your key unless it's Franklin's Demise. Which, you know, if it happens, my heart breaks for you. I've had it happen to me. It's like, no! Yeah. The next one is pretty much the golden, the gold token. It's pretty much like a better bond. Bond, I think, is 32 meters? It shows all your teammates' auras. So, like, while you're being chased by the killer, if you don't want to bump your teammates off a gen, you pop this for a few seconds. Oh, I have a teammate at that jungle gym? I'm going to choose a loop around this filler palette then. Stuff like that. It's like a slightly better bond just because it has more range, but it's not on constantly. So if you pair these up, this is, again, a very strong pairing because you get the free up a perk slot, which you can bring, like, say, Unbreakable or DS or Iron Will instead of Bond, and now you still have the use of Bond whenever you need it, right? So it's pretty strong. This one is like a slightly worse Bond. It reveals the survivor's aura within 24 meters, so it's a lot more closer of a range. That's going to be within the tear radius of most people, so a lot of people will get spooked, but you can still try to avoid your teammates that way. You can also pair this up with so prayer beads. We've already gone over that. 15 more seconds of stuff. And then the last one is, second last one, moderately increases the range of the key aura reading ability. So this will increase the range. I'm not exactly sure on the exact number. I think it's a percentage. But it'll make ones like this better, and then ones like these ones insanely good. You know, Blood Amber. Being able to see them outside of the tear radius is pretty strong, and also here, you know. So that one just increases the range, and then last but not least, adds 10 more stacks to your key. So, you know. One more thing to say, pairing these two up is kind of useless, because the channeling of the key is useless on its own without a specific add-on that tells it what to do, right? Like, you can channel the key all you want and be able to channel it for a year, but because it doesn't know what you're looking for with another item, like, you need a Blood Amber, you need one of the tokens, or you need the ring in order to see something with the key's power. But if you just have a bunch of power, it just won't do anything, trust me. So yeah, that's the key right there. Skeleton key, so you can put all these add-ons onto a broken key, except you only have 10 seconds of use and you can't open a hatch, or you can put on a dull key, which is... Honestly, I would just use dull keys for opening hatches. I would never really put add-ons onto them because you get such limited use. It's 5 seconds of use. You're pretty much forced to use the prayer bead, and even then it's only 20 seconds total, and if you put a Blood Amber on, it's kind of useless. So I would only use dull keys for opening the hatch and never the aura reading, but, you know, that's just my opinion. Okay, so let's go on to maps. I don't know if I'm going to cut this into a different video or not. We'll see how long it's going. There's 2 different map items in the game. There's the rainbow map, and then the almost a useless item when you find it in a chest, green map. So, very big differences between these maps to start. So the rainbow map, 20 seconds of use, the exact same amount of time as the green map. That's something good to know. It starts with 3 items automatically tracked. So what it means by that is it means by a generator could be tracked, a totem could be tracked, and any other items. I guess maybe traps, like traps from the trapper, I think get tracked. I don't know what other things get tracked from that, but 3 things will just get tracked, and I think those things will get tracked even outside of your map reading range. Okay, and then it also unlocks the ability. Oh, and also it tracks the hatch. It also unlocks the ability to track objects within 8 meters. So while channeling, it will show you anything within 8 meters. Okay, pretty neato burrito. Unlocks the ability to track black locks, which is the hatch. It unlocks the ability to track the hatch within 8 meters. Awesome. That's actually really good. If, let's say, your teammate dies with a key, and you know where that key is, you can find where hatch is, even if it's closed, you can find where it is with this map, put the map down, go get the key, get out the hatch. If it's a 1v1, like I've been in a situation like this where I've had a rainbow map, and I've also had a key at my disposal, and the hatch gets closed. Now you have a timer, you need to find the hatch very quickly, you need to go back, get the key, and escape. It's pretty fun. And then unlocks the ability. Oh yeah, so killer's belongings. So like traps. I don't know about blood snares or hag traps. Maybe it'll show them to you. I haven't tested it on those. Probably pig boxes too. So killer's things, their gubs, and also unlocks the ability to track exit gates within 8 meters. That being said, if you're within 8 meters of an exit gate, you should know it's there by now. But, you know, that's the rainbow map for you. You can also expand the range with add-ons. And then the green map just starts by automatically tracking one item and unlocks the ability to track generators within 8 meters. It's kind of like Deja Vu, but with an item. I don't know why you'd want that. Deja Vu is kind of shit in this current iteration. So, here are items. Same amount of items as the key. We got 9 of them, if counting serves me right. So, the first one is the crystal bead. This one it's actually a really good one. It'll show every other survivor on the map what you're seeing when you channel the map. So you might have actually already seen this in a game and been like, wait, what the heck? Once, let's say someone across the map is channeling the map, I'll be able to see each hook, each generator, each totem, each thing in their vicinity if I'm paying attention. You won't see it for long. Like usually when people use maps, they'll only channel it for a few seconds, but it's still pretty useful because then let's say there's a hex totem over there that they reveal to you, and you're looking for Devour Hope, and you're like, oh wow, time is really like we got to get this thing before our team gets wiped here. The fact that you know a totem is there, you can just quickly run by it and be like, oh, that is Devour, that's not, you know? So it pretty much shares the info that you're seeing with your team. It's pretty good. Unlocks the ability to track black locks. Do not use this on a rainbow map. The rainbow map can already do this. Only use this on a green map, because a green map cannot automatically do it. So, if you ever see someone that comes in like this, they're Pepega. I'm sorry. Like, you're just throwing add-ons just for the sake of throwing on add-ons at that point. That's pretty useless. But if they go like this, now it's useful, okay? Now this map can track the hatch. Without it, it can't track the hatch. So, you know, that's the thing. Considerably increases the range on the map's tracking abilities. It makes it so you can see things further than 8 meters. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good one. The next one is the glass bead. This one is actually more of a meme. It's pretty fun. It allows you to deploy an aura, like this little laser beam to the sky. I bet you, like, most survivors, especially ones that haven't been to purple or red ranks before, so like most of the newer player base, or most of the more casual, even some people that have been playing this game for a while, I didn't know this thing existed forever, and then I was like, what the hell is that? And now it's a thing that I troll with, low-key. It allows you to make a marker, like an angelic laser beam, that all survivors can see, but the killer can't see. It's actually pretty funny. If the killer could see it, oh man, you can bet your ass I'd be messing with them. It's pretty funny, and the best part about this is it doesn't use any charges on the map. So like, pretty much all you have to do is start channeling the map. There's this bar you have to fill before it actually starts channeling. Once that bar is filled, it'll start consuming your overall charges, right? But if you hit, it's going to be E for most people. If you hit your activate ability key while the bar is still channeling, like while the bar is not full, it activates the glass bead. So you can pretty much infinitely put down these little laser beams. I think you can have up to 3. I could be wrong, but like you could literally like, oh, let's say you have the glass bead on and there's a hex totem, but you get interrupted while cleansing it. You could put the glass bead on the hex totem, and then anyone will be like, what is this laser beam for? And they go over there and like, whoa, a hex totem, that's pretty cool. Or like if there's a generator that's almost done, or if you're like looping and you're trying to tell your teammates roughly where you are, you can literally start using this mid-loop, so long as you don't get distracted. It's interesting what you can do with it, but I wouldn't say it's game-changing. It's more of a meme thing. Then unlocks the ability to track killer's belongings. I don't know why you'd ever use that. I guess if you know you're going to be up against a trapper, it could be useful. Other than that, I don't see why it's useful. Yeah. We got the jelly. This one will... It just slows down the consumption of the map. I don't know the exact percentage. If you want to know the exact numbers, I'm either going to take the initiative and edit it and put it like on text on the screen, or I'm just going to say, like, go to the wiki. Because, like, exact numbers on add-ons sometimes, you know, you don't need to memorize that. Like, knowing how long borrowed time lasts for, it's good to memorize that it lasts for 15 seconds, especially if you're a killer and you see they clearly have borrowed time and they're trying to take a hit. If you wait them out 15 seconds, that's game-changing compared to how much the jelly slows down the map burning. So you don't really need to memorize these numbers, but like perk timings, it's probably good to memorize some of them. Moderately increases the range of tracking. That's pretty good. If you have the rainbow map and then you put this one on and then this one on, you're pretty much able to find the hatch from any quadrant of the map, practically. So, you know, that's pretty cool. Unlocks the ability to track exit gates. You should never need this, but it's in the game. I don't know. In case you're blind and don't know. Yeah. And then adds 5 charges to any map. I guess that's alright. 5 seconds to charge. Cool. Bumps up to 25. There's still better things. But, you know, I guess if you want to get the most use out of your map, you can put it with the jelly and this one. But to sum it all up, green maps are almost useless without certain add-ons. And rainbow maps are really good and get exceedingly good with add-ons. So I'm gonna see if I can find one of my boys to get into a private game with me, so I can show you what the glass bead does and what it looks like while you're channeling the map. So give me a second, and we'll be back. We'll be back. Okay, so we're loading into a map. I got my experimenting buddy Dino. Wow, we spawned like legit right beside hatch. Okay. So I brought a rainbow map with a glass bead and a stamp just to increase the range more than 8 meters. It's a demo. How adorable. So, pretty much, see this bar right here in the middle? While that bar is charging, nothing is happening. Okay? Now, if I were to say, with this glass bead, hit spacebar, while I'm holding right click. Doing it without it doesn't do anything, but if I hold right click, so okay, when so when this bar is not full, it's not doing anything, but when I hold it all the way, it is now consuming the key, and it's going to reveal all these different items to me. Hooks, that hatch over there, all that different stuff, but I'm consuming the charges, right? Same thing happens for the key as well. The glass bead, though, it's pretty interesting, though, because when the bar isn't fully charged, you can hit it whenever you want. Mid-chase, you can still do it. The killer can't see any of this. Dino just sees me running around. He doesn't even know what's happening. He's just a hawk of a Demogorgon. Okay, so let's say, oh no, I'm looping the killer. Oh, loopy-loop. I bring killer over here. And then there's something of interest that I want my team to see. I just do that, keep looping the killer, and now anyone who's walking around will hear that sound. Probably hear hatch first, though. Let's say they're on a different floor, and they don't have headphones. And they're like, man, what the heck is this? What is that thing? Jesus. This map. Okay. So they're like, what is this thing? The light, I'm going to go investigate, okay? And then they go down and they see it's hatch, right? Or like, let's say you get forced off of a generator. Let me just find a generator. Ah, here we go. Let's say I'm working on this gen. It's like very close to being finished, but he forces me off the gen. I put that down, and then I just start looping. That's a terrible way to start looping, by the way. Oh wow, you can also see it slightly below you as well. Interesting. So now people will hear that, they'll see it, and they'll investigate and be like, oh wow, look, a gen. Or say a totem. So now you see the implications of a glass bead. And again, you can use it infinitely. You can use it as much as you want if you know how to. Yeah, you only get one at a time. The other ones fade away after a few seconds. It's still quite funny. The first time I did this with Dino, I kind of trolled him a little bit, and I'd follow him around doing this, and I'm pretty sure he thought the killer could see it too. It was amusing. It's a fun little thing to play with your friends with. And then also rainbow maps, super useful. You can pretty much see anything. Look at that. I see a totem over there. So I reveal that totem. Boom, bada, boom. And also remember that crystal bead that shows your allies. I'm like, where'd that totem go? There it is. Wow, look. We actually found a hex totem. Now I mark that in case I get interrupted. Bet it's his devour. I bet it's devour. Hope I'm about to break it. And you can't do anything about it. You can't do anything. Boom, just like that. Totem gone. Oh, he's not happy about that. Look at that smile on his face. Yeah, also, this map allows you to see where the hatch is. Hatch is over there. Boom. So let's say, oh no, the killer gets there before me. He closes the hatch. Let's say somewhere on this map I have a key. I can go, oh, there's the hatch. I'm able to see it, pick up the key, and get out. Just like that. So that is how maps work. And if you were to have a dull key or a skeleton key, you could pop this thing open. You could pop this sucker open whenever you wanted. Hey, look, another totem. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to cover. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, you know, be sure to boop the Demogorgon. That worked out perfectly. It was not planned. And boop that Demogorgon. And make sure to like, because Demogorgons really appreciate it when you like videos. And be sure to subscribe, because a subscriber a day will help a Blendette in need. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. And until next time, bye-bye.